The words of the gospel today may sound a bit harsh, especially if we haven't heard them that often. Because we usually think of Jesus telling us, love one another, be kind to one another. This is how you fulfill the commandments. You love one another, you become of service to them. And here he is saying to the crowds, if you come to me without hating your father and mother, hating your wife, hating your children, and even your own life, then you can't be my disciple. What's all this hate business? I thought Christianity was about love. And it is, because we have to, as usual, explain what Jesus meant in the gospel. And remember, we are always working from a translation. So unless we can go back and read it in the original Greek, or sometimes even in the Aramaic, which Jesus spoke, we won't understand fully what he is saying. And what he is saying is simply this: you gotta count the cost of discipleship. Discipleship involves renunciation. You already know this. You know that to be a follower of Christ, you have to give up certain things. Those of you who were baptized as adults or received into the church as adults at the Easter Vigil, you know you went through a process of scrutinizing yourself, examining your own motives, and asking the big question, am I ready to do this? And obviously, you're here because you said, yes, I am. And then every once in a while, something happens in your life, and you have to stop and reflect and say, I did count the cost, didn't I? This was one of those hidden costs that I didn't see in the sales brochure. And that is constantly happening to us. We begin to realize that being a disciple of Christ is not just a question of words. Yes, Lord, yes, I'll follow you anywhere. It's a question of renunciation. It's a question of not putting anyone or anything above or ahead of God. That's all it means. It's not hating in the sense of despising someone. It's just that we have to make choices sometimes, and we have to live with those choices because we are disciples. I thought of this many times. When I made the choice to follow Jesus in the seminary and to become a Salesian and then a priest, I knew what it was doing to my family. Oh, they survived very well, and they were very proud and very happy about my choice. But they let me know that every once in a while, that choice was difficult for them to take. And I wanted to tell them, if you only knew how homesick I was after I left home to go to the seminary. And I said, dear God, this is my punishment for the way I treated my parents when I was home as a young man. So we have to be able to make those difficult choices if we want to follow Jesus. But we know, and it says throughout the scriptures, God will never be outdone in generosity. May God love you.